So it only seems right that I kind of start off with my initial first impressions of this guy. It is, of course, the new Legacy Deluxe Class Kickback. And originally when I saw him, I was like, it looks like an alright kickback, but I'm fine with my Titans Return version. How does that really stack up to this? How does this really stack up to that? Well, we're about to find out, because Legacy Kickback is going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, my baby, hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring. Or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube anytime. And I wasn't initially going to get this guy. Not that I thought he looked bad. I thought he looked fine. I just didn't feel like I needed it, to be honest with you. And I didn't feel like I needed it at a deluxe size. And I didn't feel like I needed these things. And I have them put up here for now. But I'm going to say this. Color me stupefied, I guess, would be a good word. I had no plans on it, but when I actually saw him on the shelf and then I touched him, this is what's interesting, because we all talk about how bad it is to have the open face packaging. But when I touched him, I said, there's something that feels special about this plastic. Maybe. So I picked him up. Did the good news story continue beyond my initial thoughts about robust plastic? Well, we're about to find out, because we're going to head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And here, of course, we're going to kick things off with the deluxes for Wave 1 of Legacy with Kickback. Now, just to kind of clarify things a little bit, in case you're new to the channel or you're coming back and haven't been around in a little while, I looked at Iguanas in episode 968. I looked at the Kingdom version of Hot Rod a little while ago, and that was in episode 956. I'm going to tell you now, the Legacy one is exactly the same. Exactly the same, it's just in Legacy packaging. So, I'm not going to review it again, because that would be redundant. I'm not looking at the Skywarp. Couldn't have less interest in that for the core class. For the Voyagers, I looked at the Blaster with Eject in episode 955. That would be the Kingdom Blaster, but again, the Legacy one is the exact same thing. And I looked at Bulkhead very recently in episode 969. As for the deluxes, this is it. And I looked at Galvatron a long time ago too, so I'm not doing that one again. And I had taken the battle damage off mine. That being said, if you didn't get the Kingdom Galvatron, get the clean one, right? You know, it's a great mold. I digress. This is, of course, Legacy Kickback. I wasn't sure if I need him, if I want him. We're going to see what I think about him. But before we get into him, of course, we're going to look at the packaging first. Here we have beautiful looking Kickback in bug mode here, and over here we have a close-up of his head. The robot mode, I totally like that. Over here, I find it interesting that the artwork here is the way it is. I feel like that when I looked at Bulkhead, and I could be wrong, but I feel like where he's an Autobot, what was on the side here was very Autobot. This time I'm looking at a Decepticon, and what's on the side here is very Decepticon. You know, we have obviously Megatron up top, then we have what looks to be Drag Strip, then we have, I'm guessing this is Iguanas's head. I would assume Skywarp, and down bottom here, Kickback, I would guess, right? And I assume that this will be the artwork going forward. We shall see. And of course on the back we have the product images. Now we don't have an ever popular collector card this time, but we do have the return of tech specs if you want to use a QR code and go and look at it. I kind of don't care about tech specs so much. It's neat to have them, but I'd rather have them on the package here. I don't want to go scanning stuff. That's just me. If you want to, go for it. He converts apparently 14 steps. It's a pretty simple conversion, but I kind of like it. It's pretty effective as well. We do, however, have instructions. They're fine. A lot of people don't like the blue, but I'm cool with it. They're big, they're bold, they're clear. That's all I really need from instructions. And here we have the Legacy Lad, along with his Titans Return version that's been toy hacked up, as well as some custom paint apps. If I didn't do the custom paint on the Titans Return, I would say it's not even in the running for comparison with this guy. It's not even worth it because he has the yellow bug wings, and he has, you know, the full purple arm and the purple thighs, and the head is kind of off. But with the Toy Hacks labels, like, and the black paint that I added on this guy, it's not as bad as, you know, as it could be. Now, if you do want to see a little closer version of my custom Kickback, and I do like him, now that I've made him custom, you can go back and have a look at episode 258. I really kind of went in depth with everything for this guy then. So yeah, I like him. He has good articulation. He was a good little Legends offering. There's no doubt about it. You can see obviously that the Legacy one is much larger than the Titans Return one. That makes sense. He's a deluxe. He's a Legends. Makes sense. Speaking of this guy being a deluxe, before I get into any of the other things, he clocks in with his Energon garb up here and his, oh, what's that called? Electrothermic blast thing. It's a weird name on it. I wrote down what it was. Electrothermic blast tube. And his 2 Energon swords. He does clock in at 83 grams. Traditionally, I've said it many times, a deluxe was 84 grams. So he has the girth, we'll say, of a traditional deluxe. He doesn't have, that I can discern anyway, ball pegs. It all seems to be universals or a hinge and swivel or whatever you want to call it, which is nice. I do like that as well. He has decent paint apps as well, so I respect that. This is a case where I would understand why he costs more than a traditional deluxe. If we were still saying a traditional deluxe was 20 bucks. And saying this guy, like, I think the US price makes sense. I think 25 US for this makes sense. Or 22 US for this makes sense. I know that it kind of varies a bit depending on the state you live in and all that. In Canada, by the time taxes go on this guy, I mean, you're looking at 40 bucks. I still struggle to see $40 worth of value here. I could understand 30, I don't see 40. So I do think it's a little overpriced, but I do think it's moving in the right direction for what a new valuation on a deluxe should be, if that makes sense. These are Energon swords. The way that they go into the wings is the wings are textured, and there are rectangular tabs all along the side there. There's rectangular tabs on the edge of these swords, and they just go on that way. I did have to wonder a while about how to do that. In here, there's a 5mm peg and a 5mm port and a 5mm port, and then there's a handle. This can go in his hand. Yeah, it's an Energon sword. I don't think he needed these. I don't know what they add. I've heard a bunch of them will go together to make something big. I don't know. If this is going to go on to make a bigger whatever, I hope it's like the Dark Star Saber or something. Then it would at least make sense. But as it is, I can tell you now, after this review, they're just gonna go in a bag somewhere and probably be forgotten about. I don't know why they're included. Can he hold them? Yes, he can. Certainly hold. Oh, I think he can. He can hold them? Can he hold them? Yes, he can. I was gonna say. And they can go on the side of his arm as well, you know, if that's what you want to do. Or I guess if you wanted to give him like some sort of weird like Energon skis, you know, Energon skates, they can go on the bottom of his foot too. So, you know, he still has a lot of pegs on him, so he can take like the fossilizers and weaponizers and that stuff, taking that one off. They are what they are. He also has a electrothermo tube thing. I'm going to show that up close. This thing looks super cool. I think it's all molded in black plastic because the handle is black, and I think it's painted silver and this metallic purple. Not going to lie, love it. All right, let's get into the scores and the transformation and the articulation and all of that stuff. Of course, you know me, cartoon is king, so this guy got a Be a good match for the cartoon in my estimation. The cartoon, starting from the bottom going up, does have the purple feet. We don't have the red and yellow detail on the cartoon. The black legs, the black pelvis, the gold torso, I guess, the Decepticon symbol high up on the chest, the wings, even the translucent piece in around right there and around the shoulder, that's accurate. The black shoulders and upper arms, the purple lower forearms and hands, the yellow antenna, the silver face, the red visor. Now the silver up above his head is actually supposed to be black, but this is one character and the only Insecticon that I had in G1. And I'm not gonna lie, there's something that I always preferred about the silver upper brow forehead section, so I'm okay with that. The other kind of details that he has, like the red down here and the green on his chest, those are nods really to the original G1 toy offering rather than the animation. I'm an animation guy, so if I'm gonna be a stickler about it, I gotta say that this guy, based on that, which is the metric I always use, is a solid 9.75. If we're basing on the G1 toys, like a 10. Like, he's pretty fantastic in that regard. So, very strong look to the guy, no doubt about it. What about the articulation? Well, the arms can go out that far and all the way around. Elbow goes way up. Unfortunately, we do have hollow under the arm there. Do we have no wrist rotation? Bummer. For these increased prices, that's a big bummer. Big bummer. Waist. The chest does not open. Stop pulling at it. Stop picking at it. Stop trying to force it. It's apparently not just these tabs over here. Evidently, it's glued on. Stop it. Though some people have gotten it apart, to be fair. At your own risk, though, man. Legs all the way forward, all the way back. I did not expect them to go all the way up to the side, but guess what? They sure do. Thigh swivel. Again, now, this is hollow. Like, when you look at something like a lot of the Siege stuff, the hollowness was gone. It's nice that there's a little bit of, like, filler in here with a big, sturdy mushroom, but, man, you should have covered it in. I'm just saying. Knee to 90 degrees. Ankle tilt still in play. The head, it can go left, right, look a little up, look a little down, and the antenna, they move a bit. And the, like, wing pieces here, they can move and shake and jitter all over the place. Really good articulation, no doubt about it. Really good articulation. No wrist is a bummer. The hollow forearms is a bummer. The hollow inner legs is a bummer. And I was never a hollow guy. I didn't care. When people used to complain about it, I used to say, man, for 15 bucks or 17 bucks or 20 bucks, what do you expect? 40 bucks, I expect it to be filled in. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's a real shame. Real shame. I don't know. I love the guy, but I don't like seeing those sort of things starting to creep back in at what is essentially double the price here, right? Not in the US yet. I get that. I get that. It's specific to, where I live, my experience, right? But it's all there, really, except for the wrist swivel. I'm going to say again, solid 9.5, 9.75. It's almost perfect. Not quite, but it's almost perfect. Just to reiterate, in case it got cut off, we're at a 9.75 for the look of the guy, a 9.75 for the articulation. I did have a couple of gripes for the higher price point here in Canada that relate to the hollowness of a couple of parts and the lack of a wrist rotation, but overall the guy is very good. Let's do the transformation pretty quickly. We come here and we can turn the head around. We can put these back a little bit. Then we come here to the back. By the way, you can put the blaster in right there. And we got to get this piece here up, which I do find to be a little, I don't want to say it's a pain, but there you go. Got it out. That comes up over and covers the guy's face. These come back. The arms kind of come forward here. Bend out. You can also bend that out. I mean, it's up to you kind of how far you want to go with this. Rotate a hand in. Come over here, same thing. Rotate a hand in. And it's really up to you how far you want to sort of open these out. I don't think I do it all the way, but I mean, you can if you want, right? There's no reason not to, per se. Feet go in. I locked the knees, though I don't know if you're supposed to. Not gonna lie, I don't look at instructions. Bring that out and turn it around. For those who did not see what I just did, bring out the bug leg, bring this down and rotate it around. And then really, if you wanted to, you could put the energon pieces up here, though I'll show an alternate for that as well if you're so inclined, though I don't think that the alternate storage is any good either. Even if it's more accurate to the real life bug, and it is more accurate to the real life bug. But generally, boom, in the end, here we have Kickback in his grasshopper mode. And yes, indeed, here's a bit of a better look at that grasshopper mode. These two pieces can go together and kind of down in the like lower section of his abdomen, I guess, kind of behind his pelvis. There's a 5mm port that you can plug one of the handles of the swords in, and then they go together underneath. You can also see underneath the way the blaster stores. It's fine, I guess. It's supposed to be reminiscent of, if I move this guy up a little bit, it's supposed to be reminiscent of the way the arms go together here to make the proper thorax of a grasshopper. Here's what I do find interesting though. These wing pieces as they come out, they get bigger. These wing pieces as they come out taper off. The tapering off is certainly more accurate for what we're used to. You know, again, do you prefer one over the other? I side yet again with Starscream Wife here and kind of say I don't think one is better than the other. I just think one is bigger and different than the other. If this didn't have the custom paint work, then I would obviously say that the Legacy is better. The transformation I think is simplistic yet brilliant at the same time. It's not frustrating, it's rewarding in both modes. I'm going to say that the transformation, honestly, is exactly what I would expect it to be. I'm going to give it a 10. Overall, Legacy Kickback, I gotta say, couple of minor gripes. Think he's a little overpriced, but on the whole, he's a really tremendous insecticon. And here we are once again, and here he is. I think Starscream Wife said it best. They're both good, they're both neat. They're different though. One is smaller, one is bigger. I feel like that this is a little bit too big. I feel like the head is a little bit too big for the body. Like there's a couple of proportion issues here, but it very much does look like Kickback, and it is very much made quite well with a clever transformation that's not at all difficult. I like the feel of all the hinges. I was concerned about the translucent plastic, especially around like the shoulder pieces cracking, breaking, stressing, but I don't know the last time I felt translucent, and I'm a guy who doesn't mind translucent plastic. It's not a big deal to me. I've never had issues with it, but boy oh boy, does this translucent plastic feel very robust. These Energiny pieces also feel really robust. Like it feels like a higher grade, higher quality translucent plastic than we've had in the past. I think the texture detail helps that. I don't need these. They're not really going to stick around. Maybe at some point they'll be able to go together. I'd like to see more of these that can connect together and give us like a version of like the Dark Star Saber or something. But for him, like I don't know. I don't need him. It's simple as that. A lot of people have said that they wish that the chest could open. I don't care about that. I don't have any Diaclone drivers to go in there. I'm not a Diaclone guy. I thought it was dumb that they did it on the G1. Thought it was kind of dumb that it did it on the Titan's Return. I think it was Titan's Return. I didn't need it, though a lot of people have been trying real hard to open it for some weird reason. I don't know, if you want to, do it. I've also heard that the gold coating inside is prone to scratching if you open it, so beware of that, I guess. A lot of people have had the antenna bend. They do feel like they might be a little soft, rubbery type of plastic. Mine were great in the package, luckily, so I'm not messing with it. Really good look, really excellent articulation, and honestly, a pretty darn solid transformation. Though I wish something was done a bit better with this leg. Pretty big win. Gotta be honest, I didn't expect as much as I got. When I get more than I bargained for, I'm usually pretty happy. And that's the story for this guy. Let me know what you think about Legacy Kickback. Not gonna lie, I kinda like to have the other two now. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important your time is. Stumbled over my words there. Stumbled over my words. Happens, right? Happens. Yeah. Thanks for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring. Or of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Stick around, man. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here, inside the videos.